on developing the program and supporting the coaches to deliver their programs and support to all those players around the country. It's a long process and a very, how should I put it, measured process. We don't want to place anyone at risk. It would be good to get some people who are also a little bit adept at football and try and shape some of those big nations. Not that that's important, but I am a pretty competitive football person too. But and more importantly, get that right mix of people that are going to be cohesive and work together and represent us so well. So I've got confidence in them, and really they make me look good because they've done all the work week in, week out. I just put it all together and showcased our program, our national program overseas. So pretty lucky to be able to do that.
What a wonderful way to reflect on it. Listener, if you are listening and you want to read more about the Homeless Socceroos or actually see a picture of George, you can do that. You can buy the latest edition of The Big Issue, and it's available on the street of your town or your city. Just look out for one of the sellers. They do this in order to raise money for themselves as well, and also to get some really great stories like George's story and the story of our street socceroos out into the world as well. George, thank you so much for talking with us this evening.
My pleasure. Thanks for your support.
That's George Halkias, who is the coach of the Street Socceroos, and has just come back with the team from Oslo at the International Championships this year. You're listening to Nightlife.
You meet the most interesting people on Sunday morning.
Driving through this hotland full of dust and smoke, this little comic fella feels like a true blue Aussie bloke.
Join the rest of Australia right here on Sunday morning. Australia all over, Sunday mornings on ABC Radio.
We'll check in with Michael Pavlich very soon and find out what's happening in the overnight program. He'll be looking after you for the next 4 hours. But before then, we all want to feel good, don't we? Maybe even better than good, maybe great, maybe just better. And sometimes, for some people, in the right situation, the best way to feel better is to embrace a little bit of discomfort. Have you ever heard of contrast therapy? If not, well, here's Kate McKenzie from the Australian Film, Television and Radio School, otherwise known as AFTRS, exploring the hot and cold of contrast therapy. Imagine feeling hot, very hot. You're sweating it out in a sauna. It's quite nice actually, you feel cleansed. But there is a catch, another stop. The ice bath. Steaming hot to near freezing in an instant. Your body screams, but the theory is you feel alive. This isn't torture, it's called contrast therapy. Let's trick it. From elite athletes to wellness influencers, and just you and me. It's the recovery ritual du jour. The idea of hot and cold therapy isn't new. Cultures from Finland, Japan have used the technique for centuries. And in ancient Rome, the bathhouses had specific rooms. The coldarium, the hot room, and the frigidarium, the cold room. And it's having a resurgence as people are using it to relieve inflammation and pain. I asked Perth Glory sports physio Keenan Anderson if there is method to the madness.
We utilise contrast therapy as a form of recovery. We typically would save something like that a little bit more for our midweek. Immediately post-match, we would just do ice baths. Once they've had some fluid intake, we'll then use the contrast there. So we'll go for ice bath alternating with a bit of heat, and that will help get ultimate recovery going. Getting the blood vessels to constrict and then open up, we see that as almost a pump that will clear out any inflammation or any muscle soreness.
And how do you think contrast therapy works in the general public? Do you think that's something that we should all be trying?
Yeah, I think so. So in terms of your general population, I think it also depends on what they're trying to achieve. If they're trying to be